Hey, good morning. Sunday, we took a little bit of time to talk about how time is used to honour God in our lives. And so we're going through this series, Time, Talents and Treasure. And I was just thinking again on some of those verses, how there is a time for everything. And sometimes we can ask that question, or we can make that statement, I don't have time for this. And some of those things might be legitimate. You might be in a rush, in a hurry somewhere, there's a hold up in traffic, and you say that phrase, I don't have time for this. But sometimes we say it with the more important things in life. Listen to these verses in Ecclesiastes 3. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. And it's interesting how the writer in Ecclesiastes contrasts negative and positive, that there's a time for great things in life, but there's also time for deep and difficult moments. And so sometimes you need to take time for those highs and lows in life. What are some of the things you're not making time for that you need to make time for? Is there a time to give up? Is there a time right now where you need to keep going? Is there a time for peace, that actually you've been at war with yourself, you've been at war with others, but you need to put it to bed? Is there a time to plan? Is there a time to sow something positive in encouraging into someone's life? Is there time to sow something into your future? Or is there a time to reap the harvest of that reward? And so the Bible tells us there's a season for every time. You might be in a particular season right now, but I want to encourage you to take the time to walk through the season and not rush through the season, because there is a time for everything. And I think we honor God best when we take time to do this thing called life and do it well, and do it with Him at the helm, walking hand in hand with our God and our King. Hey, may the grace of God be over you. Take time today to take a look at what's going on in your life. What season are you in, and how do you need to walk through this time? Give it over to God in prayer, and may you be blessed.